Namaste. Welcome back to Marseille Monday. And today, like the previous few weeks, I will be doing 3 readings. And today I am featuring the tarot of Pierre Madanier, 1709. This is an Yves Renaud restoration. And I have to say, this is probably my favorite type 2 tarot de Marseille. The colors, the look of the artwork is just extraordinary. I love the expressions on the faces. There's a few really unique colors in this deck that shine through, and it just has a really lovely feel to it. This particular iteration is from 2022. And I just want to let you know that this came in a tuck box. It's a fairly high quality tuck box, but it's not the 2-part box that my older decks from Yves Renaud came in. So if that's important to you, just sharing that information. The readings this week come from extensions of client readings from last week. And so I will go through these one by one and respond to them. I chose these questions because I feel that they are all highly relatable questions. I had to laugh when I was asked this question, and I struggled to capture the essence of the question, but there have been an abundance of deeply spiritual readings, and in the present astrology, in the present life that we are all leading, there's a lot of super dynamic energy. And whether you are speaking or listening to a Vedic astrologer or a Western astrologer or various tarot readers, there's a lot of spiritual energy that's coming through. This is a time for all of us to stand up, to step up, to take action. And this particular querent was feeling a lot overwhelmed and was looking for something more practical, a more practical directive on how to navigate this eclipse season, all that we are collectively moving through and seems to be amplified personally as well. And so it is with great empathy and compassion that I explore this question. And as always, I ask this message to be in the highest for the greatest good, and that no harm be done. So be it. And I'm sure at many times we have all struggled with tarot's challenges. So the Three of Cups is one of budding energy. And while this is the suit of water, it's very interesting that in this particular tarot, the cups are arranged in the blade symbol, right? They're not arranged in the chalice shape, but in the blade shape. That through this creation, there is indeed an action to take. Now, what is really interesting with the leaves that encircle this card is that, in a way, it's the leaves that take on the chalice shape. And the 3 cups are in the active shape. So we have both a masculine and a feminine shape within this card, which might not be something you have considered before. And it's funny, when I think of this card and how it appears in Waite Smith orientation, and it has come to me to be a card both of celebration and release, And you might think of this celebration as the active part, but we come together, we join with friends to let go. And so we do, we have this sort of full moon quality to this Three of Cups. With threes, there is something brewing, it is being held. And what this container is holding is space for an emotional reveal, perhaps. And if I'm looking for advice for an action, then I would say that observing, journaling, making a concerted effort to observe. Lie down and feel your feelings. Don't be rushing through every single day without taking time to do this. No need for a big meditation practice, but some layer, some level of connection is really important here to feel that which is rising within you, moving through you. Your need for action, your need for a practical message mustn't bypass the importance of self reflection and self observation of the emotional layer. Judgment feels very ecliptical, highly transformative. And so, if you are looking for something practical, I would say this is a time to not repair, but prepare for change. And including in that is I want to say, a physical lightening of your human experience. And that's a theme that has been coming through quite a bit, right? So if this is a card of awakening, initiation, stepping through a major transformation in your life, a phoenix kind of experience. And we have this beautiful window here with all kinds of growth and expansion. And the two swords here open this space. Now, I want to suggest that none of this is happening in isolation. With twos, I'm always questioning relationship, how this is being reflected back through other parties in your life. This is the two of thought and voice and mind and intelligence and wisdom. And it's early in the journey, and yet something clearly is, I want to say, becoming available, opening for you. So listen to conversations, voice, right? Listen to conversations that you are having with people around you, people that you spend more time with, maybe intimate relationships. You will perhaps be able to navigate this together with a partner or with better understanding. This card sometimes is a sign Plutonian energy, primordial fire with golden dawn. So I think it's very emphatic of all of these spiritual messages that have been coming through lately. Your preparation feels significant. I think with a 2 and a 3 here, whether we're reading this with a 3 at the center or we're going to put judgment between the 2, the 3 and the 2, there's also something kind of cool going on here with this. For those of you that read and are aware of tree of life correspondences and twos and threes, they balance each other. One is masculine, one is feminine. They both sit in the supernal triangle high on the tree of life, right? They're closely connected to cosmic energy. And it would make sense that a two and a three is here with this initiation of sorts. Due diligence. I think Spirit is kind of laughing here and say, you want this to be matter of fact and practical. Well, the truth is, we're all being shook up, and you, dear querent, are no different. So make space and time for self reflection and to observe and journal and listen in every way. Thank you. I believe last week we had a moving question as well. And so, in responding to today's question, I'm going to just do a 3 card reading and look at it linearly and see if we can get some information here. So, what advice does the tarot have for me staying put or moving in the not too distant future? Can I learn to thrive where I am? Okay, so will the cards speak to static energy, happiness, moving, active energy, changing location? This sort of kind of thing that I'm looking for. Okay. And you might want to compare this style of responding to this question to the 6 card that I did last week and see which style makes more sense for you for this type of here or there sort of question. All right, so a very dynamic energy, perhaps a message of taking charge of your life, standing up, being responsible for all that is going on, not looking to others to take care of things. Queens are very powerful, right? They are in no way do they question their ability to make decisions and to act. And then we have a valet of coins. Grounded, practical, here, in the earth, upon the earth. And this is such an interesting court because I believe it is the only page that has 2 of their symbol, of their suit. And there's something with this that for me is a reminder of both the nature of groundedness, but this dual aspect of this particular page. And then we have a sword, so lots of thoughts circulating here. It is an even number. There is an opening. You know, it's not a card that has a clear idea coming through the center. So, receptive number. And that makes me think of comfort. Maybe comfort in my thoughts, comfort in ideas. It is a lot of sorts, perhaps conveying a sense of wisdom and clarity and strength of thought. I kind of feel like the Queen of Baton is looking to this card and almost smiling and saying something to the effect of, it's not that difficult. You are creating this discombobulation when it is so much clearer. Look for the opening. Look what is growing through the opening. I think this is interesting in this card how we don't have any greenery attached to the swords. It's like all of these swords have cut off the heads of these flowers. Maybe I could say that with all of these swords, it's cutting to the chase. It's cutting away at the complexity, the perceived complexity. I feel like this page could be a little child and say, can we just stay and play? Can we stay a little bit longer? The page is looking for advice from the queen. And yeah, I do. I feel like if you are able to take charge, take ownership of all that surrounds you and all that you are doing, you will find the clarity. You will find a way to kind of let the dust settle. And so I think the answer is yes. You can learn to thrive where you are and enjoy where you are and play and work and live. It is a choice of sorts that you are fully capable of making. I had a client this week that sat across from me at the table, and I could tell that she really wanted to do what I was doing. And she talked about having made some videos and pulled some oracle cards and was at this place where she would love to take this deeper and further. And yet there was some self doubt about the how, the whys, the wherefores of what it is she was doing. And so I said I would expand and pull some cards to reflect on her relationship with the tarot, and if indeed there was a response to indicate that, yes, putting more energy and time and becoming a professional tarot reader was something that is most definitely in the cards. So let's shuffle and see what the cards have to say. And I want to ask you this: what kind of cards would you expect to show up for a yes answer? And what cards would you expect for a no answer? And why? This deck, by the way, is not, at least with the whole deck, it's not great for riffle shuffling. It's the cards are quite cardboardy. They're somewhat uncoated. Ooh, Ace of Cups. Wow, that seems very positive to me. Um, Almost like, well, of course, it's a new beginning, right? But when I think of the Ace of Cups, I think of your intuitive nature and your heart and what it is you truly desire. So I think this is very positive card to have here. And then we have the Queen of Swords, who is immensely intelligent. And if this is the second card and you want to put them in this kind of order, she's fully aware of her connection with the Ace of Cups. And I think there's this conversation all the time, yeah, the Queen of Cups is highly in touch with her feelings and receptivity and lunar energies and people in general and relationships. But the Queen of Swords has a way of delivering messages. And I think being comfortable with language and not being afraid to speak the truth, to speak what shines through, is a wonderful quality to have in a reader. It still is a receptive court, and we have this really interesting combination of a receptive suit and an active suit. And that also makes me think of a businesswoman, right? Somebody who would be taking charge of what is important to them, right? And then we have a businessman of sorts. And this feels like, again, positive information. Now, if depending on how we're arranging the cards, and I've said that in my personal reading style, I tend to put the first card in the center and the other cards on the sides. Now, that is, on one hand, not a great feeling having both court cards, both honors, looking away from the most important message. The King of Coins is leaning into the cup, and the Queen of Swords stands tall on her throne, but neither of them is looking to the cup. I wonder if they're both listening to the cup, the way that he leans in and he has his right ear to the cup, she has her left ear to the cup. There could be something to that. And that, I don't know, it doesn't really bother me. It could speak a little bit to not quite having everything all in place. But I love that these court cards, these powerful court cards, show up here. One who has a clear and confident voice, and the other who's able to figure out the logistics of running a tarot business. So I think the answer is yes. And if I was advising you, I would say to trust what you know and to go ahead with this, with the development of your idea, whether it's an online reading business, and if you have to study more, you study more, but I would say go for it. Okay. If you out there, viewers, if you have a question you would like me to explore next week or one of the following weeks, then please be sure to leave it in the form of a comment down below, and I will let you know when that is going to happen. Okay? Thank you for being here. Take good care and have a lovely rest of your day. Namaste.